The earthquake of 1906 began at 12 minutes past 5 a.m. on April 18th when the earth rumbled and rolled and knocked San Francisco flat. In 1906, the quake was bad, but the real disaster was the fire that followed. Look at the pointed spire of the Transamerican Pyramid near downtown. Imagine that entire area engulfed in flames. Not just a fire storm. It burned for 3 days and 2 nights. By the time the fire burned itself out, much of San Francisco's once proud downtown was little more than rubble. 28,000 buildings had been destroyed, and 250,000 people were homeless. Tens of thousands of San Franciscans lived for months in tents while the city was rebuilt. The damage was awesome. But in just 3 years, 20,000 new buildings went up, and San Francisco was back on its feet again. Its citizens knew that their city could survive just about anything. The Great Quake of 1906, San Francisco's worst earthquake, was certainly not the first, and unfortunately, not the last. Look out the windows toward the city and the Marina District. The earth shook again in October 1989, and it was the Marina District that suffered the greatest damage in that quake. The man-made land reclaimed from the bay rolled like ocean waves, and buildings collapsed into rubble. Stuart Brand was driving his car there when the earthquake struck.
I just happened to be driving down Marina Boulevard, and suddenly I thought the steering had gone out of my car as I was swaying from lane to lane.
Lee Cheng Long was also here during the quake of 1989, which struck right about dinner time.
I was just about ready to cook my rice, and all of a sudden, the walls and the chandelier began to tremble, and my husband yelled at me, "There's an earthquake." I just stepped under the dining table and turned on all the electricity, and we didn't have dinner that night.
After the gold rush, San Francisco grew into a cosmopolitan city with impressive mansions, grand theaters, and elegant hotels. But the spirit of the first settlers still echoes in the area's Spanish place names. Names such as, well, San Francisco for one. And there's Tiburon, which is Spanish for shark. Even the name